She's a homemaker, don't you know? She'll teach you how to cook and sew, and how to wield a hammer. It's the June the Homemaker Show.
Hello, and welcome to the June the Homemaker Show. Today on June the Homemaker, we're going to do something super important. I am going to explain the basics of football to those of you who might not know anything about football, because as we all know, the Super Bowl is coming up on Sunday, so plenty of you who have no idea what's going on in football are going to have to watch football with people who love football and will yell things at the screen. Not that I know anything about that in my house.
Yeah!
For the purposes of this episode, I am going to be one of the teams, and this bear here, his name is Edward, okay, he's going to be the opposite team. Kat, the homemaker here, is going to be the ball, because she's kind of a creative genius, so I can't let her out of the episodes, but I couldn't really think of a way to wrangle her enough to make her the opposite team, so she's going to be the ball, which is kind of awesome. Right? Isn't that awesome for you? Yeah, she's really excited about this. Basically, if I'm the team that has the cat, okay, then what I am trying to do is get my cat, or the ball, as it were, down the field into Edward, or the other team's end zone, which in this case is represented by this ivory carpet over here, okay? So I'm trying to get the cat onto the ivory carpet, or the ball into the opposite team's end zone, okay? So basically, I have 4 chances to get 10 yards down the field, and if I make it 10 yards, then I have 4 more chances, and if I don't make it 10 yards, then the other team gets the ball. Yes, I know you're very excited about being the ball. Then when I actually get to the other team's end zone, if I get there, then if I get the ball with a person into the end zone, then it's 6 points, and if I kick an extra point after that, then it's another point. So it's 7 points altogether for a touchdown, assuming you make the extra point. Or if instead of actually getting the ball into the end zone, I kick it through the uprights, I'm not really going to kick you. I'm not. Stop being so angry. I'm not going to kick you. If I kick the ball through the uprights instead of scoring, then I get 3 points, and that's called a field goal. Okay, so those are the basics. I don't really know how to run a play or anything with Edward. She would be super easy to throw because she can jump instead of just sitting there. I'm going to do a field goal with Kat the homemaker over this chair. Okay. So we're going to pretend that the 2 little knobby things on top of this chair are the uprights, okay? Okay, you ready? Here you go. Here you go. 3 points. I totally got 3 points, you guys. So today on June the Homemaker, we have a very special guest. This is Aunt Barbara.
Yes, every family deserves an inappropriate relative, and I'm it for this family.
It's kind of awesome. Aunt Barbara is going to show us a little bit about hand signals.
Yes, well, what happens is football is a very rough game, and often the boys do not behave well. This is when those referees and umpires, all those people running around the field in the black and white striped outfits, like call them on their bad behavior. And they have hand signals so that the crowd can figure out what they've done wrong. Now these hand signals are very useful to learn because usually your boyfriend will know these hand signals, and once you learn them too, you can use them on him at a party. So you don't have to go over there, for instance, and say, honey, get your hands off that blonde. No, you can do the football signal for illegal use of hands. Or if he's taking his own sweet time about getting ready to go out, you can do delay of game. There are some that my friends and I have actually made up. This one is too much information. And this one is a penalty called not only 10 yards, but loss of beer. There, now you know everything I know about football.
Yay! We also have another special feature. Things you may hear your relatives yell at the screen. This is one thing you might hear someone yell at the television during a football game.
That is such bad football!
So, if somebody might yell that at the screen, then it means that they're clearly unhappy with how their team is doing, and,
North-south, son!
Yeah, that will happen if a guy gets the football and instead of running down the field like he's supposed to, he runs kind of sideways to try and get around the other players, but then before he can actually get around them, he gets tackled, and so he doesn't actually gain any yards.
You got to catch the ball, son.
Yeah, that happens if people drop the ball, or if they get, like, hit with the ball in a place where they should be able to catch it, and then they don't. Mostly it's a north-south son, and that's terrible football. That's mostly what we hear in this household. So much so that if I'm watching football in a place that's not at home, I will get text messages that say, "That's terrible football," with a count as to how many times it's been said, or north-south son. Or sometimes if I'm watching a football game and I can tell that that's what he would say, then I will text my mom and say, "That's terrible football." And then she'll be like, "Yup." This is texting, by the way. Well, this has been your June the Homemaker football tutorial with Kat the Homemaker and Aunt Barbara and various other sundry relatives and Edward the Bear. And really, who's cuter? Who's a cuter opposite team? You are. You're a good one.